Every time you add 1,000 steps to your day, your testosterone rises by about 7 nanograms per deciliter. But there's a major hidden catch most people never hear about. The way you walk determines whether you get the hormonal benefit or not. Many men stroll casually, drift without purpose, and assume that any movement is enough. It isn't. By the end of this, you understand why walking is one of the most powerful tools for your hormones and the exact biological process that helps protect your masculinity. I'm going to explain the 7-point rule drawn from a major 2021 medical study showing that each step truly matters. You'll see how a simple daily walk can act like a chemical switch that reduces the estrogen circulating in your system. Most importantly, you will learn how to build this habit into your routine, so your body naturally shifts back into building mode. But before we explain why this works, we need to look at what happens when movement disappears. Researchers once studied a group of healthy young men in their physical prime. They didn't change their food, they didn't cut their sleep, they simply restricted their movement. These men were limited to about 1,500 steps per day. In just 2 weeks, their insulin sensitivity dropped sharply. Their bodies began storing fat faster. Most shocking of all, their testosterone levels fell significantly. Their bodies interpreted inactivity as a signal that reproduction was not a priority. Survival mode replaced growth mode. After that initial phase, the researchers reversed the condition. They instructed the men to begin walking again. Fat storage slowed. Most importantly, testosterone levels started climbing back toward their original baseline. The body shifts resources away from reproduction and toward basic survival. That finding alone was powerful. But the real breakthrough came in 2021. Researchers analyzed data from the U.S. National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. They had real numbers. What they found was not just a loose connection. They identified a measurable relationship. If a man currently walks only 4,000 steps per day and increases that to 10,000, that's a 6,000 step difference. So multiply that by 7, and you get a potential 42-point increase in baseline testosterone simply from walking more. But the data revealed something even more concerning. Compared to men exceeding 8,000 steps daily, active men showed about a 90% lower risk of low testosterone. Simply moving your body significantly reduces the risk of hormonal decline. To understand why something as simple as walking creates such a strong hormonal shift, we need to examine what could be called the cortisol balance system. It cannot produce unlimited amounts of both at the same time. It must prioritize. Your heart rate rises, your muscles tense, and your body releases cortisol. In that moment, your system shifts into survival mode. It decides that managing stress is more important than reproduction or long-term growth. The raw materials that could have supported testosterone production are redirected toward creating stress hormones instead. This process is often described as cortisol stealing resources. Walking helps interrupt this shift. When you move at a steady rhythmic pace, your brain enters a state known as optic flow. As your surroundings pass by in a predictable pattern, the amygdala, which controls fear and stress responses, becomes less active. Walking reduces the intensity of your stress response. Unlike high-intensity training, which can temporarily raise cortisol because it stresses the body, steady walking lowers it. By walking, you send a clear message to your system that you are safe. When cortisol decreases, those shared raw materials become available again, allowing testosterone production to recover instead of being suppressed by ongoing stress signals. But cortisol isn't the only factor working against you. Fat stored in the arms or legs mainly serves as energy storage. The dense fat that collects deep around the organs and pushes the stomach outward behaves very differently. Visceral fat is biologically active tissue. It produces an enzyme called aromatase. To understand why that matters, imagine you are producing testosterone and storing it in a container. Aromatase acts like an opening at the bottom of that container, but it does more than allow testosterone to leak out. It converts testosterone into estrogen. This means that excess belly fat does not just correlate with low testosterone, it directly contributes to it. That is why men with higher amounts of abdominal fat often report reduced libido, lower mood, and decreased energy. Their own body fat is chemically shifting their hormone balance. Walking becomes important here because of how the body selects fuel. When you perform high-intensity exercise like sprinting or heavy lifting, your body relies mainly on glycogen, which is stored sugar. It fuels explosive movement. But when you walk at a steady pace, you remain in what is known as the oxidative zone. In this state, your body becomes efficient at mobilizing and burning fat for energy. With consistent walking, you gradually reduce visceral fat. You are not only losing weight, you are lowering aromatase activity and reducing the conversion of testosterone into estrogen. Over time, this shifts the hormonal environment back in your favor. Now consider the role of blood sugar and insulin. Most people have experienced what is often called a food coma. After eating a large meal, especially one high in refined carbohydrates, energy levels drop and mental clarity fades. This happens because blood sugar rises quickly and then falls. When blood sugar remains elevated, the body releases insulin to bring it down. Chronically high insulin levels send a direct signal to the testes to reduce testosterone production. It acts as a protective response. When the body senses that metabolism is unstable, it shifts focus away from reproduction. Many men attempt to correct this problem with strict dieting, only to abandon those efforts weeks later. Walking provides a more practical solution. The largest muscles in your body, including the quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes, are heavily engaged during walking. Each step requires these muscles to contract repeatedly. As they contract, they draw glucose out of the bloodstream and into muscle tissue, reducing the need for large insulin releases. Picture finishing a substantial dinner and choosing to sit on the couch. Now imagine stepping outside for a short 10-minute walk instead. That brief movement can significantly reduce the spike in blood sugar and blunt the insulin surge that follows. By keeping insulin levels lower and more stable, you signal that your metabolic system is functioning properly. This stable internal environment supports, rather than suppresses, testosterone production over time. Testosterone is not only a hormone measured in blood tests, it is closely connected to how you feel and act. It is linked to dopamine, the chemical associated with motivation and reward. When you remain inactive for long periods, energy drops and dopamine production decreases. This creates a cycle of low drive and reduced testosterone. Movement interrupts that pattern. In biology, there is something known as the winner effect. When animals patrol their territory, explore new areas, and move with purpose, their testosterone levels rise. The increase acts as a biological reward for active behavior. Purposeful walking mirrors this pattern. When you walk briskly with intention, your body releases endorphins and dopamine, improving mood and reinforcing action. Higher testosterone encourages movement, but movement itself also signals the body to produce more testosterone. This creates a positive feedback loop. Even if you do not feel motivated, choosing to walk can initiate the cycle. By deliberately moving your body, you stimulate the neurological and hormonal systems that support drive, focus, and confidence. The act of walking becomes more than exercise, becomes a behavioral trigger that nudges your system back toward higher performance and renewed momentum. So how do you turn this into something practical? You don't need a complicated workout plan, but you do need to understand the 3 core elements of an effective testosterone-focused walk. First is pace. A slow, relaxed stroll may help clear your mind, but it will not create the same hormonal response. You need to move with intention. Picture yourself walking through a crowded airport while slightly late for your flight. You are not running, but your stride is purposeful and steady. Your breathing should be elevated compared to resting, yet you should still be able to speak in short sentences. This level of effort keeps you in the fat-burning zone without significantly raising cortisol. The second element is timing. As mentioned earlier, walking after meals has a powerful effect on blood sugar control. Instead of forcing yourself through one long walk early in the day, consider dividing your movement. A 10-minute walk after lunch and a 15-minute walk after dinner can keep your metabolism active and insulin levels stable throughout the day. This steady approach supports hormone balance more consistently than a single session. The third element is environment. Whenever possible, walk outdoors. Exposure to sunlight triggers vitamin D production in the skin. Vitamin D functions as a steroid precursor and plays a direct role in testosterone production. Walking indoors on a treadmill is better than being inactive, but walking outside provides movement, stress reduction through optic flow, and hormonal building blocks at the same time. The advantage of walking is how simple it is to begin. You do not need special equipment, a personal trainer, or a gym membership. There is no complicated technique to master. The only requirement is that you stand up and start moving. If you are dealing with the common signs of low testosterone, such as fatigue, mental fog, reduced motivation, or low drive, do not immediately search for a quick solution in a supplement or pill. Begin with the foundation. The human body was built for regular movement. When movement stops, systems begin to slow down. Walking sends the opposite message. It reduces stress levels, lowers the visceral fat that contributes to hormonal imbalance, and helps stabilize blood sugar throughout the day. Together, these effects create an internal environment where testosterone production can function normally again. Among natural strategies, walking remains one of the most effective and accessible ways to support hormonal health. So here is a direct challenge. For the next 7 days, reach at least 8,000 steps every single day, no exceptions. Whether the weather is ideal or not, complete the goal. After 1 week, evaluate how you feel physically and mentally. You may notice more than lighter movement. You may sense improved clarity, steadier energy, and renewed drive. Take the first step. Let your body respond the way it was designed to respond. Start walking. Your body will do the rest.